everyone, this is Helen and welcome to Modern Pepper. So today we will be making a classic Korean pancake or patties known as BinDaeTteok. And BinDaeTteok is made out of beans. So if you're looking for a healthy patties to have that's loaded with protein, you came to the right place. You have to watch this video. So most of it is made with beans, and then we're just gonna add a little bit of sweet rice powder. And the rest of the ingredients are vegetables. And of course you have the option to add any meat of your choice. So BinDaeTteok is made with mung beans. Now these are split mung beans and peeled. So you might see ones out there that has this like green coating, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for peeled split mung beans. Now if you go to any Korean grocery stores, there's going to be at least one or two aisles filled with all different kinds of beans you could imagine. And the ones that we're looking to use is this yellow kind that are really tiny, and that's what we're looking for. Now if you don't want to go to a Korean grocery store, you could go to any sort of big produce stores such as Whole Foods, and they will also have a bean section, and you could probably buy these there. In order to make the BinDaeTteok, you need to pre-soak your mung beans in water. I would leave it on your kitchen counter for at least 2 hours to 3 hours. If you want to soak it overnight, make sure to store it in your refrigerator overnight, and make sure the mung beans are fully covered in water. Now, there's some of you that are saying, oh my God, that's already too much to do. So there's a second option where you can buy a bag of mung bean powder mix that is you just add water to it, and you don't have to do all this pre-soaking and blending and all that stuff. So I will have Amazon.com links to purchase the mung bean powder mix, and all you have to do is add water. So that link will be on the description box below or on my website at modernpepper.com. Now, as for the rest of the ingredients, and this goes for all of my video recipes, all the ingredients and written recipe directions will be available at my website at modernpepper.com. So you do not need to grab pen and paper to write down any instructions and ingredient lists and such. So it's all conveniently there for you when you're ready to make this meal. Now, BinDaeTteok in general has few vegetables that are always included. One is 식주나물. These are mung bean sprouts. So basically, these are the sprouts from these beans. Yeah, and it's really yummy. So make sure to check out my video on how to make mung bean sprouts. So because you do want to blanch it and add a few ingredients to make sure our bean sprouts are lightly blanched and seasoned, you do not want to add fresh mung beans to our BinDaeTteok batter. And then the other ingredients that's always included are scallions, and these are 2 scallions that are cut at a biased angle. And then of course kimchi. Now some people like to add a lot of kimchi to it, some people just like to add very little or none, so that is up to you. Now there's another vegetable called gosari that's always in there, and it's a brown root vegetable that comes all dried, and you need to resuscitate it and soak it in water and then saute in a frying pan with some seasoning and such to sort of nurse it back. But today we're not going to use that because frankly I think it's also good without it too. So we're not going to use that today. And usually there's beef bulgogi, just a few pieces of sliced beef bulgogi in the BinDaeTteok. But today we're going to make it vegetarian style. And by all means, if you want to add a little bit of beef bulgogi or even chicken bulgogi or pork bulgogi, check out my video on how to make Korean bulgogi, which also has mushroom bulgogi for my vegetarian friends. So for today's recipe, I like to make it so that it's extra crunchy with lots of vegetables. Now, if you haven't watched my scallop pancakes or patties video, make sure to check that out. And also my kimchi pancake or patty video. And you'll notice that when I make these pan-fried patties, I like to load it up with lots and lots of vegetables so that, you know, at the end of the day, I feel a little less guilty eating, you know, carb. So that's how I like to make it. But by all means, you could put less vegetables and make it a bit more heavier in the batter mix. So that really is up to you, okay? So let's get started on making our BinDaeTteok. Hi everyone, look at my new friend Vitamix. It's almost tall as me. You definitely do need a blender to blend the pre-soaked mung beans. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you do not want to do this, so you could certainly purchase the powder mix that comes ready, so you don't have to pre-soak and blend, and I will have that link available. So to puree our pre-soaked mung beans, just do it a little bit at a time. And we're just gonna add a little bit. We'll put 2 ladles full. So this is 2 cups of mung beans that I pre-soaked for about a good 2 hours. I'm gonna put it in here, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. So I have 2 cups of water here, and we're just gonna add a little bit of water at a time and just blend it away. Okay, here we go. Hold it down steady. And very good. Blend it nicely, and then we're just gonna add a little bit more because we want the consistency to be somewhat thick and not too liquidy. So I'm just draining out some of the water, and then we're just gonna keep on adding our pre-soaked mung beans. And then close the lid. So previously, I just added about half a cup of water into the blender. And then we're gonna turn it off. So we blended that for about a good 30 seconds. And just to check on its consistency, so it's nice and thick. So we're almost done. I'm gonna add the rest of our pre-soaked mung beans, and there's still a little bit of water in there, which is fine because we just checked and it was pretty thick. So all in, we're probably adding about 3/4 of water. And we're just adding the rest in here. And then we're gonna close the lid and let it run for a good 30 seconds again. So it's all done. So we blended for about good 30 seconds. And then we're gonna just see how thick it is. So take a spoon and then dip it in here. And you wanna make sure it coats the back of your spoon, okay? So if you run your fingers through it, you should be able to see this, okay? First, we added half a cup, and we added the sort of the extra water that was in this pre-soaking bowl. So I would probably guess about another 1/4 cup or so. But you could just go a little bit at a time. So I just want to say, Vitamix is an investment, but I think, in my opinion, is worth it because it really does last for a long, long time. And it's so versatile. You could make cocktails out of it, to just blending soups, to making smoothies. So this is my sort of big investment in my kitchen that I love. And so if you're interested in buying this, I will have links to purchase this on Amazon.com, which will be on my description box and also on my blog at modernprepper.com. And yes, I am part of the Amazon affiliate marketing program, so I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the links that I list to purchase the Vitamix if you are interested. And I think Amazon usually ends up having one of the best deals when it comes to Vitamixes, because they also sell refurbished Vitamixes that many people are happy with because it is significantly less in price. So those are things to consider. I personally love my Vitamix. So if you're in the market, check it out. Now we're gonna take our blended mung bean puree and then add it to a mixing bowl. Wow, this color of yellow is just so calming. It's like baby yellow. I just want to show you. Look at that. It's this beautiful baby yellow. It smells kind of raw, like something needs to be cooked. It also smells really refreshing of all the beans being just pureed. So here's some other ingredients that we're gonna add. This is 1/3 of a cup of sweet white rice flour. The other option is if you happen to have sweet white rice laying around in your house, you could add about half a cup to the blender here and then blend it with the pre-soaked mung beans. So we're gonna add a 1/3 cup of the sweet rice powder, and then we're gonna add 2 cups of mung bean sprouts, 식주나물. And again, you could add less if you want less vegetables. I tend to love my 빈대떡 to be very crunchy and just full of so many vegetables that it kind of falls apart. And then we're gonna add our kimchi. So kimchi, this is 2 cups of kimchi. And again, you could add more or less. I like to add 2 cups of kimchi because I like the sort of the crunchiness of the kimchi when I bite into my 빈대떡. So you could add more or less, it's up to you. And then we're gonna add 2 green onions, scallions sliced diagonally. And we're just gonna add this in here. And then we're gonna add some freshly ground black pepper. And then we're gonna add just a tiny little drizzle of sesame oil. So this is probably about half a teaspoon. And then we're just gonna mix it up. Oh my goodness, it already smells good with the kimchi and the mung bean sprout vegetables that we just added. So look at the color. Look how pretty that looks. I mean, I wish you could smell this. And of course, if you want to add some, bulgogi to it, by all means add it. And you could also add pre-cooked bacon bits. So if you could do that as well, if you want to add a little bit of that bacon taste to it, that would also go very well with all the vegetables and our ingredients in here. So this is ready. So we're just gonna pan fry these in some oil and be able to enjoy it very soon. Hi everyone, so we're gonna get started on making our BinDaeTteok. And notice that I have a cooling rack here with a sheet of paper towels. So as we cook our patties, we're gonna leave them here to rest while we finish the rest of the batch. And this is my go-to Korean dish to make when I don't feel like making a big meal, or when my friends come over and we just need to nosh on something without having to do a production in the kitchen. So this is my sort of one bowl meal that really satisfies everyone's hunger. And because it's made with mostly protein, it really keeps everyone's hunger at bay for a while. So I can't wait to get started on making this with you. Yum! So make sure your frying pan is heated nicely. And I'm just gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil and make sure my non-stick frying pan is nicely coated with oil. Now, when people make Korean pancakes or patties, some people like to add a lot of oil and literally turn it into like a pan fry. I prefer to cook with as little oil as possible. But if you want to add more oil and make it sort of like a deep pan fry, by all means add more oil. We're just going to make small sizes. And your frying pan should be nicely heated that you should hear that sizzle sound. If you don't, that means you need to turn up the heat. So each patty should cook about 2 to 3 minutes on each side or until golden brown. And then we'll flip it over. So it has been about a good 2 minutes. And I'm gonna turn it over. And that's the color that we're looking for, this golden brown color. So you could take a peek at it before you flip it over. And then I'm gonna now lower my heat to medium and let that cook for another good 2 minutes or until golden brown. So it has been about a good 2 minutes, and I'm just gonna turn it over to show you the color we're looking for. So that's the second side, and we want it to be that golden color. Same like here. And we're gonna transfer our BinDaeTteok to the cooling rack. And while that's resting, it's still gonna continue cooking. So let that hang out, and then we're gonna move on to making the rest of our batch. Now, BinDaeTteok is always served with some soy sauce, dipping sauce. So this is super easy to make. You take equal parts of soy sauce and water. So this is 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of water. And then you take 1 teaspoon of brown rice vinegar, but any mild vinegar will do. And you drizzle just a tiny bit of sesame oil. That's probably about like 5-6 drops of sesame oil. And then just mix it up lightly. And then you just wanna have a quick taste. So it's like this perfect balance of saltiness from the soy sauce, but it's watered down a little bit. And then the sesame oil just adds that creamy, nutty taste to it. This is gonna be so yum with our BinDaeTteok. Now, for those of you that want to make the dipping sauce a little bit spicy, you could slice a few pieces of fresh jalapeno peppers in here. Just make sure to remove the inner cord seeds, or you could add a little bit of cayenne pepper, or you could add a little bit of Korean red pepper flakes. So those are the options that you can use to add a little bit of that spiciness to your soy sauce dipping sauce. Hi, so we just finished cooking our last batch of BinDaeTteok, and it smells so yummy. So I can't wait to taste this with you. And today we have a special guest that will be doing a tasting for us. This is my returning celebrity food taster. His name is James. All right, what do you smell?
BinDaeTteok.
Yeah? So we're gonna taste our 빈대떡. This one is super hot. It just literally came off the frying pan. And you could cut this up, you know, but I like to eat my Korean patties or pancakes sort of like this, like rustic style. You kind of pull it apart. This is really hot. So 빈대떡, if you eat it without the dipping, it should taste kind of bland. You want to make it sort of bland so that with the dipping sauce that we made earlier, it just adds that perfect balance of saltiness with a little bit of tangy vinegary taste. So, James, you ready to taste? It's hot.
Really good.
What's good about it?
It's nice and crispy. I like the texture and vegetables that you put in there. It's a bit spicy, but I like it.
Not too spicy?
Yeah, it's like the perfect amount of spice.
Perfect amount of spicy for little kids. How old are you?
8.
So I'm gonna have a taste. So you can see that because I added so many vegetables in here, the vegetables are like sticking out. And that's how I like to have my 빈대떡 or any kind of 전, Korean patties or pancakes, but you could add less vegetables if you prefer, okay? So mommy's gonna taste. You wanna blow it in? All right, I'm gonna have a taste. So, because 빈대떡 is made with mostly beans, it has this chewy but airy texture to the batter. And of course, the vegetables, it just adds that crunchy bite with every bite you take in your mouth. And the soy sauce vinaigrette ties in the taste of all the ingredients in the 빈대떡. So you have to give this a try. And you want another piece?
Yeah.
Okay, so while mommy's feeding you, what are we gonna ask our audience? If they like the video, click on the thumbs up button if you enjoyed watching this video. And please do share this video with anyone that is interested in Korean cooking and that might love all protein-based vegetable patties. And you can certainly add meat to it too, right?
Can I say the word?
What do you want to say the word?
Please subscribe.
And then what are we gonna ask next? We're gonna say, please subscribe to my channel because...
Please subscribe to my mom's channel.
Please subscribe to my channel because I would love to cook with you again and create Korean dishes together that you could replicate at home with easy to follow recipe directions. And I would love to connect with you every Thursday because that's when I upload new videos. And I love making Korean dishes as well as everyday meals that are non-Korean, using one or few Korean ingredients to just add that Korean twist to everyday meals. So I hope to see you soon, and please do press on that thumbs up button, thumbs up, and click on that subscribe button, which is that box below this video box. Hope to see you soon. Until next time, happy eating. Bye. Instead of cutting the 빈대떡 into perfect sizes, I like to just kind of rip them apart like so I could see the vegetables kind of falling out. And I think it's just more fun to have it rustic style. I'm gonna generously dip it in the dipping sauce and give you a bite. Can you see all the vegetables just falling out? I wish I could feed you. So say ah, here we go, ah, into your mouth, yum.